It's probably going to go into an hour and a half, but
Are we live now?
we're going to be, it's in the stream. It's in about 5 seconds.
Oh, it says everyone can see and hear you. That's why.
Oh, yeah. Now
Now we're live.
we're live. Now we're on
Live and in
the
color.
Living Color. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Nights of Horror Radio. We have a lot to talk about after an insane week here on the Nights of Horror and just in the world of haunt in general. I'm your host, Anthony, and today with me, my partner in crime, my co-host, the load carrier, the original load carrier.
Oh, a little throwback.
Mr. Samuel Martinez, how are you today?
It's good. It's a beautiful day. It's Sunday, August 24th. Sunday. Live and in color. Monster Jam.
Monster Jam, huh?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful day here. 24th. We are just over, just under 2 weeks away from Horror Nights, if I'm not mistaken.
We are
in Hollywood. Next weekend, Orlando launches. I mean, obviously, we don't go to Orlando all that often. I know Tony's made it a goal to go every 5 years or so. So it's not a 5-year anniversary.
I guess that's what people are taking that as, huh? So
you told me that was your goal, so I'm holding you to it.
It just happened to be because I said I'm gonna go next year, and then happens to be 35 next year. So that's why I was like, oh, I guess we'll just do every 5 years then. But nonetheless, no, we are. We're gonna try to get back out there next year for Halloween Horror Nights. I want to go back, and I also want to go see Epic Universe too. So that'd be really cool. But
you're an Epic Universe. Just kidding.
It's about to be in SoCal this year as far as haunts go, because this is probably the biggest and most anticipated haunt lineup that we've had in a long time when it comes to properties, when it comes to who's getting what. The hype is there this year, I think. And to kick it all off, I think we need to start with everything we know that's coming to Halloween Horror Nights in 2025, starting with Terror Tram enter the Blumhouse. 15 years of Blumhouse. They've been at the event for 11 years. How do I know? Because I just filmed a video on this. So, yeah, 11 out of the 15 years that they've been a horror movie production company, they've been at Halloween Horror Nights representation through mazes, through scare zones, through shows. You name it, they've been there. So, I think it is going to be a very, very good year this year at Halloween Horror Nights with this lineup. What are your thoughts about Terror Tram, Blumhouse, 15 years?
Yeah, great question. Love to answer. Let's start with this. What was the first Blumhouse movie? Because I don't know. It's The Purge?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal? I didn't know that was The Purge. I didn't realize Paranormal Activity was part of Blumhouse. So
yeah, very throwback there for those who know.
Yeah, that was a very small movie and such a small budget. So definitely wild. Terror Tram, I know this is an unpopular opinion to you, but maybe a more popular opinion in general when it comes to Terror Tram is I think it's kind of run its course. It kind of gets repetitive because it's the same kind of, you walk through the Bates Motel, you go up the hill, there's a photo op, and then you basically go through those little sets, the War of the Worlds, and then yeah. So I think I think it's cool when they bring it every couple years, but like if you've done it once, you've kind of done it as many times.
I disagree.
I know you disagree with that.
Because every year they managed to, the last couple of years they've managed to actually change layouts for once.
Oh, did they? I don't know. I mean, I'll be fully transparent. I have not been to Horror Nights now in a couple years because it's expensive. Well, actually, I think last year was the first year I skipped, but besides the point. But I think it's cool. I mean, I think some people are a little upset that Blumhouse is back because I think last year's theme was Blumhouse as well, correct?
Yeah.
And then The Purge has been there a long time.
Yeah, this was supposed to be, so from what I've been reading, it's going to be 15 years of Blumhouse, so there could be a lot of secret characters that just make a cameo and pop up. Yeah. I don't think it's specific to any, few movies. I think you're going to see something from everything, or at least their most popular franchises. But yeah, I could see this year it seems like the Bates Motel area is a little bit more built to be like more of kind of like a walkthrough experience a little bit more. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this year. This sounds fun. I'm just curious to see what your overall story is going to be, because there's always like a story to the Terror Tram. So
Yeah, and I think this may be a statement to how many great things that we're getting, and we'll obviously cover those as we go on along in this live stream. But like, I definitely think if I was going to be ranking what I'm most excited for, Terror Tram would probably be at the bottom of that list.
Oh, 100%, because I think this, well, and you know what, like we got a lot of content coming out this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do Halloween Horror Nights this week, Halloween Horror Nights week this week on the channel, just to get you guys a little hyped and ready for the event. But one of the things that we do every single year is our hype list. And I'll be honest with you, this year is a pretty solid lineup, and it was really hard for me to put things, obviously the Terror Tram, I put that last, but as far as mazes, it was really hard to put things in different orders, because like all these properties this year are really, really good.
I will say, if White 6 is not your number one, I may leave the channel.
That you got to know by now, and you should know. You know me more than anybody that's going to be my number one. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
That's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? I'm just like, come on. But all right, let's talk about some of those insane properties coming to Halloween Horror Nights, starting with Five Nights at Freddy's and Terrifier. Now, these are I'm losing my train. That's how excited I am. No, these are going to be the ones that I think are going to be the headliners.
Me too, Rob. Me too, Rob.
Wyatt, number 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Top 3.
All right 6. There. Top 6.
All 6. All 8. What are you talking about? All 8.
Well, no, 6. So there's 6 White 6.
Oh, there you go. Okay, all 6. Okay. I think these two are going to be the heaviest hitters for the event this year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at the star power that Five Nights at Freddy's has. People have been wanting it. They're finally going to get it. Look at the power and star power that Terrifier has, and we saw that over the weekend at Midsummer Scream. It's like these two properties people go ape shit for, and I think these are going to be your 2 longest lines for the event this year.
Yeah, 100% agree that these will probably be the longest lines. And I like that they're working with the Jim Henson company to get the animatronics really built out. So I'll be excited to see how those turn out. Obviously, when they had the Blumhouse, or no, was that Blumhouse?
Yeah, the Blumhouse Behind the Screams.
Yeah, the figures looked cool in there.
Yeah,
but those were I believe, movie versions of them, meaning like from the sets. So I'm excited to see how the props. I'm excited to see how they actually turn out. And then the Terrifier, I think I've never seen the movies. I don't know that I'm ever going to watch the movies, because it's kind of
it's gory.
It's gory, it's sexual, not really my cup of tea when it comes to a horror film, but not going to knock it from anyone else. But I think that given what we learned during the Midsummer Scream panel, and the fact, I think the resounding comment that made me go, oh, this is going to be a good house, was when they asked the director, whose name is escaping me right now, why
Damien Leone.
Yeah, Damien Leone. When they asked him, like, well, why now? And he's like, everyone's approached me about doing this. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people have approached me, but they just never got what I wanted done. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to tone it down. And Horror Nights was basically like, we're not going to tone it down. Obviously, within reason. Like, I don't think they're going to be having naked bodies in there, because they have to sell tickets.
Yeah, they got to still. Yeah.
But I mean, I think I saw earlier this week, and you probably don't have it, and I could have phoned you up on this one to get it, but like they showed pictures of like the woman being cut in half.
Oh, yeah, those pictures came surfaced across. So I actually will not show them on stream for spoiler purposes. I don't want to, if you want to go in blind, I completely respect that. We won't show those pictures, but just know that there are pictures out there. There are tours happening now of some of the houses at Halloween Horror Nights, for sure in Hollywood. I don't know about Orlando. Yeah, in Orlando too. They are doing tours right now. So if you guys want to avoid spoilers, be careful of who you're following and stuff, because some of those people are going to be posting photos. That's kind of what the deal is when you get invited to those things, is like you got to pretty much help sell the idea of coming to the event. So just be careful. But back to what Sammy was saying. Yeah, there are photos out there of what things are going to look like in the Terrifier maze.
Yeah, and they look really sick. So I definitely think that. And then like I wish I was going to Orlando just for the wet path.
Yeah,
Because I think that's so funny that they're like, yeah, you're gonna walk out soaked.
like front row Jurassic Park. So
So-
I'm like, yes, that's what I want. Tristan says on Instagram, thoughts on the Terra Tram, and I think you just touched on this earlier, is just me, but I'm kind of burned out by the Terra Tram. Yeah, I think Sammy was saying to like maybe take it away for a couple years and then bring it back. That's what happened last time, and it drew so much hype, and when it came back, people loved that it came back.
Yeah,
So-
like I'm completely fine with like do it 2 years and then take another like 3 years off and come bring it back for like 2 years and then take a couple years off.
Focus all that money on maybe another house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I really like now 2019. Obviously, it's my first year going to Horror Nights, so I may be having bias with that. But the Us House and Curse of Pandora's Box were like two of the best houses in 2019, and that's
Yeah.
where they used the queue for the
yeah,
studio
Tram
tour.
Garage. Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think it's good space. And I think if I was going to pick, it's like, hey, keep the Terra Tram a year or get 2 new houses in that area. I'd go 2 new houses in that area.
Oh yeah, easily. I heard as far as that behind the scenes on that was kind of a little bit of a cluster to kind of get
Yeah, of
going
course.
and keep it. So I don't imagine in the future we'll get that location back unless they do work something out with them that they're fine with. But yeah, you were right. That year, I think those two houses were great. They had them back to back, and literally the lines were right next to each other, and they really worked out the line queues pretty well. So that was really good.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, I'm excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a lot. I was talking about how I'm 6'6" and you're 6 foot.
Yeah.
These things are about 8 foot tall, dude. Like we're gonna feel intimidated because these
Yeah.
things are like supposedly chasing us, is what they're promising in this maze. So I'm excited to see what they do technology wise in this maze and how the actors are able to control these suits, how mobile they're gonna make them for the actors to control them. And then Terrifier, I'm hearing every room we're gonna get wet. So I'm just like, I'm so nervous more for my camera than me. I don't care about getting wet. I can get wet all night, but my camera and my equipment is what's important to me, and that's what helps me produce great content. So like, I am so nervous for that. But nonetheless, I think I'm also very excited because this one, we got a little bit of a glimpse at this one at Midsummer Scream. And we had the Damien Leone and the executive producer come out and talk about their experiences making the movie, and then them talking to Murdy and their team and Aiello to create the property. So there's a lot of hype behind this one, and this property in the last couple of years has blown up more than any slasher in the last like 10, 15 years. So Art the Clown is becoming one of those household names, one of those staple icons that is going to be a huge name in the slasher community. It already is a huge name in the slasher community. So 2 solid mazes, I think, that are going to be great. Next up on our list, Fallout and Jason Universe. Now, Fallout, of course, based on the Amazon Prime TV show season 1, and of course, Jason Universe, the newly rebranded Jason Universe. They're trying to show off, of course, the new mask, and they're going to kind of revamp what we know and love as Jason Voorhees. For years, it was a lawsuit battle between the property and the rights and the creator and everything. So finally, they came to an agreement. You guys can continue to make Jason movies, but you got to kind of rebrand the mask and the character, which is why the mask looks slightly different than the original. That being said, we're promising some new stuff potentially from the new Crystal Lake Peacock show, maybe a little sneak peek, a scene or something. But we're gonna get, of course, some of the most iconic kills from the Friday the 13th franchise. So everything you know and love, just kind of with a little bit of a reboot feel because of the costume and the appearance. They have shown that. What are you looking forward to with both of these coming to Halloween Horror Nights?
Yeah, I think Fallout obviously is the one I'm more excited between the two. I haven't finished the show yet because I suck at watching TV, which is no surprise to you, Tony.
Except when it comes to football.
Yes, I will watch football, but that's besides the point. And football is back in 2 weeks, so well, college football is back next week, really, because this was week 0, and then the week after the NFL. But neither here nor there. That's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss Horror Nights currently. But yeah, Swallow, excited for that. I'm excited that this is a opportunity to work with Amazon Prime, because they're doing it based upon the TV show, even though I would have loved it to be based upon the video games, because Fallout 3 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. New Vegas is good. So real excited to see how this comes to life. So I'm just excited to see what they do here. And especially if they have the funding from Amazon Prime, throwing extra money at it to make it look
Come on,
good.
Bezos, cut the check.
Oh yeah, Bezos, please cut the check. You won't even. You can lose a couple $1 million and not even blink.
That's chump change for Bezos, bro. Just write a blank one for them.
Yeah. And then Jason Universe. Jason's cool. He's obviously a titan of terror. One of the best slashers of all time. But because it's such a stacked lineup, this is kind of lower on my list. I'm sure it'll be great. And I think with the namesake, I think it'll also be a crowd eater. I think there's going to be a lot of crowd eaters this year. Obviously, all 4 of these that we've already talked about should eat crowds. So be interested to see what those wait times look like. I'm looking forward to watching John from the Hauntline post, because he always posts about the wait times on Thursdays and Sundays.
Last year, yeah, he's very good about that last year.
I'm always excited to see what's actually under a 60-minute and what's not, and I don't know how. And I'm sure this is a tip we're going to be giving.
It's going to be like 3 hours long for Five Nights at Freddy's, and 4 hours for Terrifier. 5 minutes for 5 minutes for Monsteros.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking shit on Monsteros. It's just that's how it usually is. It's these big properties come in and they take the spotlight for something as good as Monsteros.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I will say that I'm excited to see what those wait times look like, because I know that some feral 13-year-olds are gonna be real excited about Five Nights at Freddy's, and some sick, demented people are going to be really excited for Art the Clown and the Terrifier. So I think Jason, even though once again namesake, big icon, I don't know what I'm curious to see what that line looks like. Is it hour 20? Is it hour 80?
Murdy did bring this up in their panel that every year now going forward, they're trying to build an event for everybody. And you start I think this lineup more than anything is the perfect example of that. Where you see Terror Tram and Blumhouse. Blumhouse is current. People know the name Blumhouse, so everyone's gonna know what that is. Five Nights at Freddy's, that's got a massive fan base. Terrifier's got its own fan base. Fallout's got its own fan base. Jason definitely has a fucking fan base.
There we go.
WWE fans, Poltergeist, Scary. The originals have fan bases. You know what I mean? Like, there's fans of Slash. I'm a fan of Slash.
I mean, sure.
Monsteros. If you grew up in Mexican households, you heard all these stories growing up. You know what I mean? Like, there is something for everybody. Like, really, there is. But no, I think that real quick on Fallout and Jason, I'm excited for Fallout. I've been rewatching the first season. There's a lot I'm excited to see that they're saying they're gonna pull off. This is gonna be in the Walking Dead soundstage, so I think that's the perfect place to have it. And Jason is probably one of the reasons why I'm sitting here right now, because Freddy vs. Jason was like one of the top horror movies that I watched as a kid, and I've always loved the character of Jason. I thought he's just him immortal, and him just killing people the way he would do it is so creative. And I'm so excited to actually finally get to see an individual solo Jason maze. Out of all the years I've gone, I've never seen an individual Jason maze, so this is going to be awesome.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I've only ever seen him with Freddy. They've only done the Freddy versus Jason, the Titans of Terror. I've never seen an individual Jason maze, so this is why I think I'm a little bit more hyped for this one, just because of that purpose of individual Jason maze. That's awesome. All right, let's talk about the two that are gonna be some shock. One of them's exclusive to Hollywood. Obviously, Poltergeist is returning to Hollywood the first time since 2018, I believe. Yeah. And of course, the one that Sammy and I think are most excited for, because we're just biased wrestling fans. WWE, The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. Dude, after Midsummer Scream, I think I got way more hyped for this maze, and talking to Murdy and Aiello about it, to hear the sentiment and to hear the tribute that it sounds like they paid to Bray for this Maze, you know, like that makes
Wait,
me
hold up. Before we go any deeper, it's been 2 years since he passed away, so we got to pay the respects.
2 years anniversary of his death, and I think that really shocked the entire wrestling world. It shocked the entire world as a whole, because he was very young age, and one of the best minds in the wrestling business, hands down. You and I followed his thing from the very beginning of the Wyatt family to the very end of what he was building with the Wyatt Six. One of the greatest minds in wrestling, and I really am very much looking forward to seeing how they pay tribute to him this year with this Maze. I know this is something that he's always wanted to do. He would talk to Mike Aiello frequently about it. He was a fan of the event, and now that he gets to do it, or now they get to do it with the Wyatt Six and to honor Bray's legacy, I think there's more of an emotional drive for this Maze than there is more of like to get scared if you're a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of emotion here when you kind of really dive deep into it, you know, who Bray Wyatt was and what he did. And so, yeah, I'm so excited for this one. There's a lot of Easter eggs that I hear that, you know, wrestling fans are going to catch. I can't wait to look at all that stuff. I bought Unlimited Express for the sole purpose of this Maze alone, just so I can walk through it like a few times, because I know I'm going to want to. I think Rob and I are talking about probably going through like 4 or 5 times in one night.
I did it 6 times.
I told Rob, I'm like, let's do everything like really quick, and then let's go through Wyatt Six all night. He's like, I'm down. I'm like, let's start on the top, and we'll make our way to the bottom, and we'll just stay in Wyatt Six for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so excited for this. Yeah, the cast is gonna hate us. You know, I can't wait to see if they're gonna do some wrestling chants in the line. You know, got a little exclusive Uncle Howdy footage that they filmed just for the event. So definitely gonna have to try to get some of that on camera, because can't wait to see what that is. But what are your thoughts, Poltergeist, Horrors of Wyatt Six? This is huge.
Yeah, I have no thoughts on Poltergeist. I've never seen the movie.
But you went through you didn't get to go through the Maze.
Never been through the Maze.
Yeah.
So if I was going to the event, I would be okay, cool. I went through that. Nice. But now let me get on my soapbox about the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good Maze. Obviously, when you have the WWE brand recognition, the WWE push, I mean, they've been pushing the Wyatt Six on programming. And you can hate me for that thought, Matt. I don't really care. But for not watching Poltergeist, I'm not great I watch a ton of movies, but even then, really not great at it.
I was like, I know you're not talking to me. If you didn't see a movie, you didn't see the movie. It's just as simple as that. Now
I saw
Matt though. Yeah.
But the Wyatt Six is going to be sick. I mean, I'm just jealous that we're not going to Florida.
I know,
because not that I think that their house is going to be better or worse.
The gorilla scene, bro.
The gorilla scene, yes. You knew exactly where I was going. When we saw the gorilla scene, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, really?
So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like maybe next weekend, maybe like that Sunday or something, we can do like a live stream.
I'm not in town. I'm
gone. You're gonna be out of town. I'm probably thinking about doing a live stream, just watching the Orlando walkthroughs. Because their Horrors of Wyatt Six is supposed to be different than ours. So I was like, I can watch that and just enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm right there with you. When I saw they were getting the debut of the Wyatt Six and Gorilla, I was like, oh, dude, I wanted that so bad. I just hope at the very least, like, I'm not expecting a whole section, but if I can get one room of just being inside the Firefly Funhouse, but I don't even think we're gonna get that, to be honest with you. I think everything's just Wyatt compound.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is, but seeing their gorilla, and he's like, "Oh, that's not the picture of WWE's gorilla. That's what we built. That's what we built." I go, I'm like, I see the gorilla every week that we watch WWE.
Yeah.
You see gorilla because they've done a lot of like one shots basically now, where like you'll follow a wrestler, cut a promo, and like watch them walk through gorilla, and then obviously seeing the debut of the Wyatt Six was wild in gorilla. So
I think we all watched that live too together because we were expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
But no, for those who don't know, wrestling terms, by the way, this is what they call gorilla position. So gorilla position is the final kind of like area you go to before you enter out into the arena and into the entrance as a wrestler. And that's where they come back to go backstage as well. And if anyone has been doing any research that doesn't know about wrestling, the Wyatt Six, any of that, that's how they debuted. Is they did a whole one shot of them outside in the arena, all the way back to the gorilla position where they showed pretty much like a massacre. And it was probably one of the coolest debuts of all time when it comes to wrestling. But yeah, it looked like something out of a horror film. And the fact that they're going to recreate that in Orlando, I'm pretty jealous about that, to be honest with you. However, you and I think are really going to enjoy our maze because you and I were diehard Wyatt family fans.
Yes.
So, I mean, just to get the idea of having the rocking chair and the lantern throughout the maze, rocking by itself, we're going to see the fireflies. I know Sammy's going to put the hands out and say he's got the whole world in his hands.
Yes.
Sammy is ready to sing that throughout the entire maze because we used to sing it all the damn time. What are you looking forward to? Because, you know, like I said, you and I were really diving deep into that era of the Wyatt family. What are you looking forward to seeing out of that era of the Wyatt family as far as that maze goes?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see the rocking chair. I think they said it's going to be outside of the maze, kind of moving on its own. I think the other thing I'm real excited for is the way that they're going to build the story. Well, yeah, it's the wrestling shirts, but how they're going to build the storyline. The lantern is going to be in every single room, basically, according to Murdy. So kind of just following the lantern, I think is going to be good. We're here. Yes, Matt, we're here. Excited for that. That'd be such a cool effect if like you walk into a room and you just
dude.
We're here, the lights go out.
Oh, and then jump scare, bro. That's how you do it right there.
Yeah.
I'll even take it in a projection where like he does it he film and then he jumps out at the end. Like that.
I think it would be the same. Like if they did the same effect that they did in, was it The Haunting of Hill House where like they had the wall?
Oh yeah. Like it covers and then bam, like the jump scare.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
No, I think we're.
I think John should have called us. We could have been creative consultants. I would have done it for free.
I would have done it for free, 100%. I just want to walk through it as you're building it because I want to see the magic come to life.
Yeah, I don't even need to see it before or during the build. You could have called me and we could have talked.
Could have FaceTimed me. I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, John. Next time, John Murdy.
Hey, y'all want to do another WWE property? You let your boys know. We'll come down. We'll do it for free.
We'll do it free of charge. Maybe maybe get us media again, but that's besides
opening night. We'll come through.
And something.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I think this is, to say the least, the Nights of Horror's probably most hyped maze house, whatever you want to call it, for 2025. I don't think there's been a house that's been more hyped for us in the last 8 years that we've been doing this channel than this one. This is blending the worlds that we love the most together. And to hear, like I said, to hear Murdy and Aiello talk about how they're paying tribute to Bray, especially this is, it's more of an emotional thing than there is a scary thing around it. It's as a wrestling fan, I can't wait to have a huge smile and probably some tears coming into my eyes because, I imagine we're going to see The Fiend. I imagine we're going to see different variations of Bray Wyatt, including, of course, your favorite in the awesome, the shirts and everything, the white pants, the gator boots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious a couple of things there. Well, to that being my favorite outfit, I think every year Midsummer Scream, I go, I'm going to cosplay Bray Wyatt next year, but I can't grow a beard. The other question I have is, I know WWE is going to be in France, I think, next weekend. So I'm curious on what their presence is going to be during both of the opening nights.
Wyatt, are the Wyatts fighting that Clash in Paris for the title?
I'm not sure, but
we got to look that up.
Yeah, we'd have to look that up. I'm curious if they are going to be there, and if they are there, do they come as their human selves, or do they actually come like in character and trying to keep kayfabe alive?
That's the cool part about it too. For those who don't know, the Wyatt Six right now are actually the World Tag Team or the WWE Tag Team Champions for SmackDown, and I think that's really cool to have that representation. Imagine them showing up with their belts and everything. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're super stoked for this. If they are going to show up to any of the event, that's a good question. That is on a Thursday, so they could go on a Thursday and still make it out to Paris by Sunday because the event's actually on a Sunday this year because they're doing Raw the next day as well. But yeah, I can't wait to see. I hope they do show up to Hollywood. I'd lose my mind if I saw them in Hollywood. But yeah, I'm excited for these two. Poltergeist, man, I loved it in 2018. It's a great film. Steven Spielberg produced the film, I believe. I think it was the same guy who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What's his name? Toby Hooper? I think he directed that movie.
Oh, let's find out.
Or was it Toby Hooper or was it Richard Donner? No, it was Toby Hooper. Yeah, great movie. Poltergeist is, maybe I'm wrong all around. That's not even who directed it.
We'll find out right now. Yeah, Toby Hooper directed, story by Steven Spielberg.
Poltergeist, you mean?
I mean, yes, that's what I meant to say.
So yeah,
English is hard.
I think that they did a great job effects-wise the first time around. They've very much have improved on effects since then. So I'm excited to see what new effects they're able to add. I know an example that you enjoyed, something that you wanted to see for so long was La Llorona. And when they revamped that with new effects and everything, I think that was probably the best iteration of that maze thus far. Yeah, and I think you would agree with that because you watched the walkthroughs and the lights on tours extensively. You practically memorized that maze. That's probably easy to say one of your favorite, probably original properties.
Yeah, I think top 5. I mean, La Llorona, another maze we'll dive into right now. Scarecrow, Us. I mean, those are like top 3 if I'm trying to pull it off the top of my head.
That's why I brought up La Llorona and original properties, because our last 2 mazes we're going to talk about on this lineup for Halloween Horror Nights are original properties from Halloween Horror Nights. Scarecrow, which we saw in 2022. No music by Slash. This time we got music by Slash, so I can't wait to see what that effect adds and what music he created for that. And then the 3rd installment of the Monstro Now trilogy, The Ghosts of Latin America, is back for another year. These 2 mazes, I think, have delivered time and time again, especially Monsteros. I can't wait to see what they have to bring in that one. The facade looks incredible already. If you've been watching our updates on the channel, we've been going to the park a little bit more often. Facade looks great. Other channels have been posting it on social media. It looks great. And then Scarecrow, same thing. Facade looks great, and I cannot wait to see what the Slash element adds to that property. So cannot wait to see that. Thoughts on these 2 for the final mazes houses at Halloween Horror Nights?
Yeah, like I said, Scarecrow's top 3 for me. La Llorona, top 3. So like very excited for both of these houses. Even if they didn't change anything from Scarecrow outside of the music, the set design was out of this world. I think that's what took it for me, because no black walls. You feel like you're in a 1920s, 30s Dust Bowl.
Yeah.
Characters are creepy. And as you go, and you get to really just see the Scarecrows go from existing to like taking over. It's kind of like scary in that storyline. Obviously the Crows have gotten a big hype, but I think Scarecrow's even better. We have Horror Unleashed has Scarecrow. Orlando's gotten it. So like, even if nothing changed on it, it's still one of the best mazes.
Hands down.
And then Monstro is obviously, we've loved the past 2 iterations of it.
Yeah.
And it's in the same Parisian courtyard, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's gonna feed out to a scare zone.
And your girl's back.
La Llorona's back. Yep. La Chona. Even though
you know.
If you know, you know. It's gonna be a good maze. Even if I think this is one of the few years where I go, how many do we have? 9?
Yeah. Total experiences, with the Terror Tram.
7 out of 9 I'm hyped for, which is I think is a good amount.
Pretty solid line. You know what I mean? Though that's still good.
Yeah.
You know, that still gives you enough to like, even if you didn't like those two, and maybe those two actually end up blowing you away. You don't even know that much. You know what I mean? Like, but still, that still gives
I
you
don't think
seven.
I do not think that the Terror Tram is going to blow me away. I'm a certified hater.
Yeah, he's a hater.
I know I'm a hater.
What was the other one? Poltergeist?
Yeah.
I think Poltergeist would blow you away on the effects at least, maybe.
Yeah.
But still 7 out of 9. That's still a lot to be excited for. I mean, I think that'd be enough to buy a ticket for me at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the bandwidth to do a general admission. I may want to die if I do that, but that's besides the point.
Of course, now
Or I might kill you. I mean, that's the other real problem. We'll be 1 a.m. again wanting to fight each other.
In the line.
Don't talk to me.
You got the zones. This is your connecting scare zone right here to Monsteros. It's Noche de Brujas.
Which is scary.
Yep. So we got that one as our French Street scare zone. Chainsaw Clowns and Carnival of Carnage are going to be our scare zone 1 and our main scare zone in the front of the park. And of course, the Murder of Crows are back. So that's going to be exciting. And then just announced recently, the Chainsaw Man, the Chaos is going to be inside the DreamWorks Theater. That's the anime aspect of things. Someone asked if anime was going to be slowly coming into Halloween Horror Nights. Well, they figured out a way and they're doing a whole original thing about it. I'm actually kind of, I don't know. I don't know anything about the property, but I'm kind of curious. I might actually go check this one out.
I have literally no idea about what Chainsaw Man is either, but
I don't either. But
I know it's sort of. I'll skip my comments on the other property.
Oh, and then Purge Dangerous Waters is back. You know, if you've seen it once, you've seen it twice.
at least you recognize that.
But you know, that is Halloween Horror Nights 2025 for you. Now we're gonna briefly, we'll talk about Not Scary Farm because we just did a whole video about it this week and Sammy did his reactions about it. So you know what Sammy thinks about it. You know what I think about it. We'll talk mostly just about the 2 new mazes that are coming to Not Scary Farm that we got. Of course, everything's returning, scare zones, shows, and the mazes that are already there. Final year mazes are going to be the Grimoire and Mesmer for 2025. So if you guys want to see those mazes one last time, this is the year to do it because after this year, they are gone forever. You can check out the Lights On walkthrough tour that we filmed for Grimoire at the Nightmares Revealed event on our channel right now. That's an individual video, or you can just watch it with a vlog.
Yeah.
Whatever one you want to do. But as far as those new mazes go, we got 2 brand new ones coming to the event this year. And I think you and I are both very excited for both of these mazes to come to the event this year. And that is Mary, the Haunting of Worth Home. Venture into the creepy house at the end of the street. Within the walls hides a terrifying secret. No one foolish enough to go in there has ever come out back alive. But I'm sure this time it will be different, right? Be careful not to stare into the mirrors too long. You never know what's staring back from the other side. Obviously, Bloody Mary is the inspiration. This is their take on Bloody Mary. I'm very excited for this one. I really am. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping there's going to be some good effects in this one, but only time will tell, right?
Yeah, only time will tell. But I will tell you that I don't think I've ever been disappointed with. Actually, no, I've only ever been disappointed with a Knott's Maze once in my brief tenure of going to.
I think I know which one it is.
Yeah, but that's besides the point.
I ain't gonna say it. You can say it.
I'll say Room 13, but I don't.
There you go.
I like the concept of Room 13. I don't think the execution was as great as it could have been, and it's a small footprint, and I think that's one of its limiting things, as well as it's lacked in actors and its sound design in its first year sucked. But I'm not here to be negative. I'm here to be positive. Mary, the Haunting of Worth House. I'm going to be excited for that. The backstage mazes have always been great. Huge footprints, even Dark Entities, for what it was, is a banger. I look back fondly at Dark Entities. I think it's going to be the same way for Eight Fingers 9 the Boogeyman. I just think that location sucks because it's so far away from everything, so it doesn't get the foot traffic it needs and deserves.
Yeah.
But Mary the Haunting of Worth House is going to be sick. Scary, Bloody Mary. I almost got it. Scary Mary. This isn't Queen Mary.
We'll get there.
But Bloody Mary, I think I grew up hearing about Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
You grew up hearing about Bloody Mary. No one wants to look into a mirror and say that name 3 times. Or at least now, I mean, maybe as a kid, no, but now I think people do it because people are weirdos. But neither here nor there. I think it'll be good. This is John Asprin house, if I remember correctly.
I think
Or is this
so.
Daniel
Daniel
Miller.
Miller.
I forget who did what.
Yeah. I think Miller did the zoo, which
Okay.
we'll talk about next.
Yeah, we'll talk about next. But yeah, John Asprin house. It's going to be a good house. So I think it's going to be a banger. I'm curious because like the trailer kind of, or like the teaser they gave you was like a period piece, but then it kind of goes more modern.
Yeah, so like I was thinking
up.
the same thing as I was watching it because we were there too, and fucking I'm watching this thing and I'm like, so are we gonna go back in time to like explore what happened here and like because we just went from like 1800s to like modern day like that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm a little confused there. Like I get it, this is supposed to be Mary. They buried her alive with the mirror. That's the curse. I'm assuming that's who that was that pulled the girl into the mirror. Like it's supposed to be the same girl, obviously, but like, are we gonna get some backstory as to like what happened there? Because like I just see her cleaning blood, and then that was that. Like I know there is a backstory, and I know they did briefly mention like I think her family died or like she murdered, like something happened. But like, is it because of this? Is it the house that people were living in that's haunted? Maybe the house has a history. Like, or what? Like, I'm kind of a little confused on that end of things.
Yeah, I agree. I've tried to watch a bunch of content from Nightmares Before, but I haven't seen anyone that went to the like panel thing they did.
Right.
But so if anyone does know what they discussed in that panel thing, like shoot it our way, because I'm curious to know what they talked about, because I'm a fiend for behind the scenes. Like so much so when we were developing our Midsummer screen plan,
Mary Marshall's.
Tony was kind of like, I can skip the Knots panel, and I'm there like, oh, I want to go because I want to get all of the behind the scenes knowledge. Even if I've walked through with the Grimoire and Mesmer handfuls of times, I still crave to know all of the little intricate details. So, and I love the story building. Like, I wish I could get like the character sheets, because I would read all the character sheets and all that. I'm a weirdo, I know.
No, I'm the same way. Like if they can print out like every year like a book for each maze, like an original or something, or like a book just for all the mazes of that year of like their backstories, and then you could just sell that every single year. Like I'd buy that. To be honest.
I pay $15.
Or like you make a book of like all the fucking, like a big thick book like they did with the History of Haunt, but just all the maze backstories and all, like just build it like a big book of like a who's who of that, like I'll buy that shit.
Yeah, I want to know about all the characters and all that stuff. So I'm interested to see how this one's going to come to life. I mean, like I said, I've only ever been disappointed once by a Knots maze. So I think it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be good, but I think the one I'm more excited for, honestly, is the zoo.
Oh,
I have to say that something has taken over the abandoned zoo. What was once a lively showcase of exotic animals has been transformed into a terrifying laboratory of animal-human experiments. Hybrid creatures have turned on their creators, and the compound is crawling with mutant soldiers thirsty for revenge. Rumors are swirling that the mutated monsters are planning something that will change everything. At 11 o'clock p.m. But no, I think this is a great concept. I think this is the one that people thought originally was going to be a Batman maze. That would have still been cool. So Knots, let's not take that out of the question. Let's maybe 1 year
bring back Asylum.
We're with the and then turn into Batman Arkham Asylum. You know what I mean? Like, come on, revamp it. We're good. But this one looks amazing. I love the concept of an abandoned zoo, and I love the concept that this military organization came in, started experimenting, and now these things are on the loose, and they're trying to kill people. And then to add to the scariness of it, at 11 p.m., you're gonna get a flashlight, and it's going to be a lights out experience, which I'm so stoked for. What are your thoughts on the zoo? Because this is kind of like trick or treat again, and I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this one. I will, if I'm once again being critical, Nightmares Revealed. I didn't like the characters they picked for the photo op. They didn't look that like and terrifying.
Oh,
but
right.
with the guys in like the security outfits basically in the masks.
Yeah.
But I think this house is going to be scary for the sole fact of walking through it in the dark. I know you get a flashlight. What do we have to do to get you to go through it 5 times in a row, no light, on like a Wednesday?
I'll do a whole video of where I just do it for an hour straight.
It was a whole hour straight. No light though. You're supposed to get the flashlight, but you're not using the flashlight. Just complete darkness.
That's fine. I'll do one of them with no light.
Okay.
I'll even mic myself up. Now that I have the good mics, I can mic myself up for it. It'd be awesome.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. So I'm gonna warn you right now, though. I don't know how much of that video you're gonna actually be able to see. It's all gonna probably be audio. I'll tell you that right now.
We'll just clips it. It just clips.
Yeah. I'll film the entire experience, but it's mostly gonna be fucking audio. I'll tell you that right now.
Just clips.
If they're planning, if they're saying it's gonna be as dark as it's going to be, it's just gonna be fucking audio. I'll tell you that right now.
It's going to be completely dark because it's in a sound stage, and they can control that light. So it's not like it's a tent outside where some light will peep in. I hope it's as dark as when we went to Castle Dark during the Phobias maze, where we could not see.
That was fun.
That was so much fun. I really hope it's that. I really hope it's that dark.
That was a lot. We were literally feeling for the fucking walls. That's how fucking pitch black it was in there. And there were still people scaring us. I was so blown away.
I think there's probably 4 actors in that maze, and they did not need more than 4 because
honestly, it felt like there was like an army of them, and there was how dark it was. Like it felt like there was freaking people around every corner. But they did an amazing job.
Oh, you have the GoPro, don't? Oh, GoPro doesn't have great low light, but that's besides the point.
Well, Mooch wants me to do the entire night. Got to get that night vision. I know, right? Gotta go and find that. That says Scaredy. By the way, Scaredy Cat Vasquez already camping out for Midsummer Stream 2026 right now.
I heard.
I think I gotta pitch up a tent and go get the bonfire going. You know, so we can get good. So if you guys see him at the convention center, please go give Scaredy Cat Vasquez $1 because he needs it to survive for the next year for food and drinks. So definitely go give him $1 if you see him camping out there in front of the convention center. But yeah, the zoo is going to be fun. I'm excited to see what they do with this maze this year. And shout out Dr. Matt Barrera. Am I right?
Yes. Shout out Dr. Matt Barrera. I lost my mind. I lost my mind when I saw that.
I didn't mean Oingo did. We I had to cut out us losing our mind and freaking out over who he was. I think I put look at the name tag, and that's about it. That's all you hear in the video. But there was way more to it. We were talking to the lady. It was great.
Yeah, I'll have to ask about that off camera.
Yeah, it was so funny. But no, nonetheless, I think it's gonna be a great maze, and I'm excited to see what they do with this one. I already love what the facade looks like, so I'm excited, dude. Honestly, and this is gonna make you want to come to the maze at least twice during one night. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm for sure wanting to hit that once in the beginning and then coming back at 11:15, and
even if we go at 1, 2 a.m., you know what I mean? When it's even less packed. I mean, they're gonna do lights on from 11 to close, so it's you don't have to go right at 11. The lights on will be there for those hours. I imagine though, because of that, it will probably build up line again. So yeah. I think that's their focus, is to try to get more line back there later in the night. So
yeah, no, totally. And we'll probably release a game plan because we have 2 different game plans when it comes to that sometimes.
Yeah.
One game plan where it's oh, you hit the backstage early, and the other game plan where it's hey, you just do the backstage at the end of the night. So really, you get to play it both ways and still win.
No, 100%. And every year, I think for this year, as far as Halloween Horror Nights goes, I'm already mapping out a game plan. I got 2 different game plans of how to start the event because there's 2 different big fan bases that I know are going to go to straight 2 different mazes. So I got 2 starts to a game plan for 2 fan bases because I look out for the fan bases. I know what you guys are going for. I'm not an idiot.
So
You
the
are
game
going
plan,
for the Y6 like me and Sammy.
the game plan is hit the Terrifier and then you hit Five Nights at the end of the night, or vice versa.
5 nights, and then you go to Terrifier. There's no winning. One's on one side of the park, one's on the very bottom on the other side of the park. You got to make a sacrifice early on.
Well, there should be 3 game plans then, because the other third game plan should be early admission, but that's besides the point.
That's besides the point. But I know I'm going with the early admission on these ones. Like, that's just that. Like, early entry, you either go to Terrifier or you go to freaking 5 nights first. There's no.
Well, you said on opposite sides of the park, aren't? Well, because Terrifier's
at H in the Curious George area. Freaking 5 Nights at Freddy's is behind Transformers. It's complete opposites. Like, you got to choose. Like, there's no winning.
No way.
It's gonna be funny.
When is it open? I think I think Transformers will open earlier than.
Yeah, they usually do. That lower lot always does. There's
Besides
4 mazes back there. It'll be probably Jason Universe, Scarecrow, and 5 Nights at Freddy's, followed by YS6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get there though. That video's coming this week. Just bear with me. I haven't even filmed it. I haven't filmed it yet. All right, let's talk about the next haunt. Continuing with the big 4 as far as haunt season goes. I want to talk real quick about. I don't have anything for Dark Harbor because they haven't updated the site yet, but they did announce a brand new maze for Dark Harbor for the 2025 season, and that's Voodoo. The Voodoo Priestess is getting her own maze again. That was a maze back in 2019, I believe. So they're kind of doing a nice little revamp of the event, and they are expanding the event. So they're promising that this will be the biggest floor print of Dark Harbor yet, with concept arts shown at Midsummer Scream. If you guys saw the panel and everything, it's going to be a fun year. A lot of themed nights this year. Season passes is what was one of the biggest news that come out of that panel. As well as the new maze announcement, but and the Admiral is coming back for 1 week, 1 weekend, 1 weekend run. And I'm so excited for that. I'm going to definitely be coming back out. Admiral's one of my favorite people. So I can't. Scaredy Cat says he needs help fighting some pigeons. So we got to set a little care package, maybe a little slingshot, so we can get the pigeons. You know, at limited ammo, all you gotta do is find rocks. The rocks are on you, bud. There's rocks all around that place, so just get the rocks and sling them away. All right, but yeah, Dark Harbor, I'm excited. Season passes, I'm definitely gonna be getting it. So you'll probably get us either at Dark Harbor or at Knott's a lot of the weekends for sure. I'm definitely gonna try to expand and go out to something new every single weekend too. At least one day out of the weekend, so I can get more things out there, because there is so much. I always say this, and I think a lot of people will agree with this. This is like the haunt capital of the world right here. It's SoCal. There's so much things that go on in Southern California every haunt season. I think more than any other state, any other country in the world. So we are the haunt capital of the world, and there is so much to cover and look at. I can't be everywhere. I try to go as many places as I can when I can. My work schedule, unfortunately, fucks me every single year when it comes to Thursdays and Fridays, even sometimes Wednesdays. So bear with me. Weekends is usually where I'm limited to, maybe a Friday night here or there, but that's about it. I'll do my best to get to your haunt if I can. If not, I will definitely try next year. But I'm trying. I really am. And I got Rob that goes to places too for me, so that helps a ton. So Rob's a huge help. Let's talk though. Next haunt that I want to talk about, Six Flags Fright Fest.
Wait, I didn't give my Queen Mary thoughts here.
Are you gonna go to Queen Mary?
Am I gonna go to Queen Mary? Undecided, but I'm excited for the Voodoo Queen to be back. I'm excited about the season pass. Like I think as Tony mentioned with the season pass, there's 3 season passes. Technically 4 now, because we'll cover Six Flags, but every event has a whole season pass. So you can get a frequent fear to go to Horror Nights, get a not Scary Farm pass, go to Scary Farm, get a Queen Mary pass, get a Six Flags pass, and guess what? You have four nights already covered, basically.
Yeah.
So you can't say there's nothing to do if you did get all 4 passes.
They just added the for Six Flags and Knott's, by the way, you can get 1 pass for both parks now. So it's like, if you were to buy that and then just add the Scary Farm extension. And then I think this year they're adding like a maze
So extension, yeah.
for Six Flags.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes care of those parks if you really wanted to go back and forth between Six Flags and Knott's. But like it's like Sammy said, now that you have another thing adding a pass, there's just like you can rotate to different parks and stuff. So that's really cool. I'm excited.
Just do Horror Nights on Sundays. Do not do Horror Nights on Saturdays. Unless
Thursdays.
Thursdays, Sundays.
Thursday, Sunday, Horror Nights, Saturdays, Fridays, Knott's, Dark Harbor, Six Flags, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, just rotate them. Have fun.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Six Flags, because Six Flags is seems like they're promising a brand new era for 2025 going forward. With their lineup this year, only with 3 IPs, the Conjuring universe is returning for their 3rd year at Six Flags Fright Fest. Saw Legacy of Terror, I believe, is their 3rd or 4th year as well. And Trick or Treat returning for its 2nd year. These are the only 3 IPs that will be at the maze. And I think this is a good step backwards to go forward, in my opinion, because I think they tackled too much last year with too many IPs too soon. 1, 2, at most 3, like how they're doing, is perfect. You don't need to go crazy about it. Let's give you the 3 biggest, heaviest hitters in the horror game right now. Saw, Conjuring, and Trick or Treat. Do really good on those, and then focus everything else on your originals as well. With that, of course, a new original that is coming to the event, Carnage, presented by M&M's, and that is going to be kind of like a backstory, your backstory for City Under Siege, as well as Carnage's backstory for City Under Siege. Truth or Dare is back. Condemned Forever Damned is back. That's a fucking creepy picture of Condemned, by the way. I've never seen that picture. That is terrifying. Willoughby's Resurrected, one of my favorites at the event, is back, as well as Vault 666, another one of my favorites, is back. Those are all the originals coming to the event. Thunderbolt Alley, brand new Scare Zone. Carn of Hell, Devil's Triangle, Exile Hill, Grimoire Ridge, Plaza de Muerte, and Nightmares Reign of Blood, brand new. So a lot to do this year at Fright Fest. What are your thoughts overall of what Fright Fest is looking like for the 2025 season?
Yeah, I think the inclusion of the pass was a great move. I do find it funny that like most of the originals are presented by Candy,
right? I mean, that's Halloween right there, right? Look at it. Let's go before now you mentioned that. Okay, M&M's, we got Skittles, Snickers, and those are just those 3 mazes. But then some of the Scare Zones did too. But like that's just so funny that I mean, when you think of Halloween, you think of Candy. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I think Carnage is going to be sick though. When we got to hear about that.
Yes.
During their panel, the fact that it's going to connect to City Under Siege is a great move, in my opinion, and that it's going to be kind of like a build your own adventure with it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be sick to me because it's like you can take the sign and get one experience, or not take the sign and get a totally different experience. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So I'll be looking forward to either yours or Rob's content when it comes to Six Flags, or both.
Definitely. I definitely want to try to make my way out there this season because it does look promising. Very much looking forward to seeing what they have to bring to the table. Again, they are promising a new era. Maybe they realized that they took on a little much last year and they want to tone it back. So let's do a fresh reset. Let's focus on what we have already, and then let's focus on those 3 IPs. Let's build them up even more than we did last year. And let's start from there. I think it's a good, solid reset for them to kind of admit it. We did have a rough year last year. Let's take it back and let's do what we know how to do. And I'm looking forward to it. I feel like this truly is going to be a new era for Six Flags Fright Fest going forward. So only time will tell. Again, I'm going to try to get out there this year big time. I want to go. I'm going to talk to Rob. That's Rob. Rob's been a diehard Six Flags guy since for a long time.
Might be 84, maybe. I don't know what year he went.
Jesus, you're making him feel older than he is. How dare you? But nonetheless, I am looking forward to Six Flags this year. They, like you said, that Carnage maze does sound really, really promising. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
All right. One of the last things I want to talk about for the struck a lot of shock this past weekend, which was, of course, 34 Entertainment's panel, but specifically Haunted saying that maybe they kind of need to do a reset or kind of maybe go away for a little bit and then come back. Nothing bad about it. I mean, there's a couple of things that it's safe to say that. And I think they realized that. And I think they've heard the fans. So this year, the Mistress of Darkness, Elvira, Cassandra Peterson herself, is going to ride. So as you can see right here, Elvira pop-up shop is going to be there. So anything Elvira merch is going to be there. Elvira's Trick or Treat Mayhem. Trick or Treat is getting a brand new revamp with Elvira. The house is up for sale. Someone bought it and moved in, and that person happens to be Elvira, and she is throwing a Halloween party with all the neighborhoods. So you're going to go and see all these wacky, cool costumes. Trick or Treat's been a fun one. They always used to hand out candy after you go up to every door. It's one of my favorites at the event. But of course, hey, bro, candy's candy. You know it. Returning for 2025, though, Monet Manor. This one, shockingly, was probably the best one at the event last year. I was blown away by how they did this. This was such a great maze. I don't even know this artist. And I thought it was a better walkthrough. I thought it was a better take on an artist maze than The Weeknd. I'm being dead serious. Like that first maze, obviously, okay? Both Weeknd mazes were great. But I don't even know this person, and I like this maze more. Like it was that I was blown away by it. Like they did a very good job on this maze. So I'm excited to see this one return. Of course, the hayride now with some seating. I know Sammy would like that nowadays because that first year was killer. Madame Aurora's Seance Theater is back, and of course the characters of Midnight Falls and Midnight Falls is back. Hellbilly Halloween, Monster Revolta is back. Zombie Splat, Axe Throwing, Scary Go Round is now working, and you can ride it now. And of course, they have a couple mini escape games and some vendors that show up. I always get a Cinnabon every single year that I go because it's my tradition. Cinnabon slaps. Sammy, with Elvira coming to Hayride, I mean, this was a huge shocker in the haunt world because she's been at Knott's for so long, and now the Hayride picked her up. What are your thoughts about the big news of Elvira coming over?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this actually plays out. I think if I was going to be giving constructive criticism to the Hayride, it's do what you do better than everyone. No one else does a Hayride, so make sure your Hayride's good. Yeah. No one else does a trick or treat. Make sure your trick or treat's good.
Yeah.
Everything else can be subpar, in my opinion. But do what you do it well. The last time I went was 2022, maybe, when they changed locations or whenever they changed it. It wasn't the best. I love 2019 hold dearly.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a lot of fun, a lot of love for Reggie and the show that we got that year. But I think like do what you do it well. So hopefully with Elvira's revamp of Trick or Treat, that goes well. Hopefully with the change to add seating to the Hayride, to kind of go back to some of the classic scenes, because I think that's one of the big things that they had mentioned during the 13th floor panel is like, hey, we heard your feedback. So like, even if the route was shorter, but you just made sure there was actors, staff throughout, and like the scenes were good, I think that would be completely fine in my book. Sometimes less is more. You don't have to have a huge footprint. Do what you do it well. And I'm hoping that's what we end up getting here from LA Haunted Hayride.
No, and I think you and I are in agreement. It's like we don't hate the event. I go every single year regardless of it. You know, like it's like you said, when we first went in 2019, we were introduced to Cineractive. There was a storyline there. We were so immersed into it that night. And, you know, there was a lot of characters that we, like, just drew. I think she had, especially for the Hayride, because there was, like, a lot of cool scenes I remember from that Hayride that, like, they were able to use because of the old LA Zoo that, like, really looked cool. Yeah. We need to go over here because, like, we know that this is going to be a great event, some sort of way. A gets the hype, it gets the news every single year. It's like Sammy said, this is the only hayride in Los Angeles. So it's like, there's just, again, I just want to see improvement from every haunt that I go to. I don't want to ever see a haunt go out of business. I don't want to ever. Times there's going to be constructive criticism that we think about the haunts, but we're never going to truly hate a haunt. Like, there's always going to be aspects of haunts that we're going to like, So it's like we want to see succeeding, So it's like if the haunt business succeeds, we're one step closer from getting this shit year round. Look what's going on in Vegas right now, So that's just so. There's a lot of good things happen in this haunt season. I think this is probably by far one of the most. What the hell is going on in the Instagram chat? I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Optimus Prime, freaking rollout going on in the Instagram chat. Fix my mic. My mic. Is it mine or Sammy's? I'm not getting a response.
We're a little behind.
So I think Instagram right now is approaching a lag of some sort, or the stream in general. But we're about to wrap up anyway. Starters for coming out and watching it wherever you're watching it on, from Instagram, Twitch. I think it's going to be a great haunt season. There's a lot of hype behind this haunt season, and I cannot wait to see. What are your final thoughts for this season? What are you excited for?
No, definitely. I think this is going to be a good year. In general, I think all four of the haunts that we covered are five, yeah, are all going to be good. I think, like you said, LA is so many things. I mean, Caroline put it best. She's like 13 haunts I want to go to this season, plus multiple nights at HHN, so it's can and show love to all of these haunts. And that's what we're there for. We may have feedback along the way, but I think ultimately we're there to have fun, and any feedback we give along the way is because
fans, there's probably more to it behind the scenes that we don't even know, but it's just things that we see as the guest point of these things. So we know the formulas of each haunt. We kind of know where they're gonna go as far as scares and everything. That's it. At the end of the day, I don't want to ever see a haunt close. I don't want to ever see a haunt go out of business. I want to see everyone succeed and not scared for everything. That what makes all of them individually amazing is that they all do their own versions. I think that's why we're so spoiled here in California, because there is so many different portals and avenues to go down that, like, if you're not a fan of Halloween Horror Nights, then there's not Scary Farm. That's more of original slider character work. There's Dark Harbor, like all these ones that work stuff. So if you love the IPs and stuff, the movies, that's where you're gonna go. If you love Hayrides, if you love all that stuff, like, you're gonna go. If you love Elvira, that's where you're gonna go. Like, there's something for everyone out. Definitely do your research, see what's in store this haunt season, and I highly suggest even going to visiting independent and home haunts, because I guarantee you will be blown away by them. Usually, best of that.
100%. And I think if I had one closing thought about everything,
let's do it. Talking everything we know about haunt season. That's just the major parks will probably come soon again to talk about the independent stuff and the home haunts because out there that you want to go check out. I think there's going to be a good lineup. Also, check out the SoCal Haunt List. The SoCal Haunt List will literally guide you to everything there is in Southern California to see, from displays to walkthroughs, shows, entertainment, anything haunt horror related. It will be on that list. And they are taking submissions now. So if you want to be added to that list, go check their Instagram and see how you can submit your display, your attraction to the SoCal Haunt List, because there is a lot out there. And it's honestly a big help every single year when I want to try to find something local. So yeah, check it out. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Tune in this week for Halloween Horror Nights Week on the channel. With that being said, stay spooky.
Peace.